Hey, what's up, everybody? Got a new idea, folks. I'm pretty stoked on this. Basically, I thought to myself, well, I studied jazz in college. I got fucking sick piano chops, so I figured, hey, is there a way to apply this knowledge, give people some tools to come up with something of their own creativity using my knowledge? So, basically, I got these roads right here. So I figured, hey, why don't I just play random chords, and then, the user can kind of pick and choose which chords and which hits they like out of kind of like a random chord mud pie sort of thing. Anyways, so here I go. I'm just gonna just kind of jam out on the chord on the roads, and I'll show you how I would make a tune, not just using the audio. Put in a top just to like get the juices flowing with ideas. And then I was like, well, let's make a rhythm first before we kind of find different sections in the random chord mud pie thing. So then I realized there was a little bit of swing on the top. I went to the groove pool and found the swing that kind of goes with this kind of garage sample. Anyways, so yeah, that's where we're at. So I just wanted to make a cool little rhythm first with the chords, and then I'll play around with the start time. So now we can kind of start screwing around with the start time. You don't have to group it. I just like to macro just to get some macros going to make me think about other macros down the line. But yeah, there's like no processing on this yet, but we're gonna start playing around with the start time, see what we get. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. I am probably going to end up compressing it quite a bit. All right, so now we got a cool little chord loop going. Now, the cool thing about Ableton and the templates, and well, also if you just add your own project folder into your places right here, is you can access every track or group you've ever created, basically. If you've saved some templates, you can actually access the templates and not have to open up a new project. So let's say we go to this template of mine, and you can do both. You can just drag in the ALS file and plop it in there, which is probably what I'm going to do. Or I could drag in just the drums. Now the thing is, I do have a routing to a bus, and what's cool is I can just drag both of these together and it will stay routed and everything, and with the bass and everything. But yeah, like I said, I'll just probably drag this whole ALS file in and it will populate my project. I found this is kind of a nice way to do things when you're recording vocals or something audio like the Rhodes or guitar or whatever, so that way you have the best sample rate and latency, and then you can add all your crazy plugins afterwards. Anywho, so now as you can see, I kind of made a beat down here, and what we can do is just kind of group these, call it melodic or something. Yeah, and then we'll make it like, I don't know, this color, I don't like that. I like that actually. That kind of goes with the vibe a lot. And then, so here's my drum bus. I like drums on top. My workflow is all about drums on top of the project. So we'll do like melody like that. Cool. We'll copy this. We'll say that's the intro or something like that. There we go. And we'll make a little sidechain bus. Or you know what? F that. We can just, with Duck Buddy now, I don't really have to do that. Let's just take my Duck Buddy from the base, and then we can actually just copy and paste right here, and it's already, well, I guess we have to route it again. Oh no, it did route. And then we can play around with like the depth is probably what I'm gonna do. All right, so let's see what we got here. Probably just gonna see what's going on here. And the way I have things set up right here is I just have the kick. I don't know. I like to be able to process things individually in their own track, and also I like to process things in a rack, in a drum rack. So I figured out, hey, we could just route the kick to the drum rack that I'm using, and you can even like sidechain the drum rack to the new kick and snare that you want. But here, as you can see, I just muted it, and I'm just using the kick and the snare as is, but they are getting triggered by the drum rack because I had the MIDI input from drum rack. All right, so let's process the Rhodes a little bit now that we have that kind of nice little loop. So I'm thinking, you know, some reverb obviously would be nice. We can do it with a send. And what's nice here, we can also kind of think about what hits we really want to be verbed. I'm saying probably that first one. Let's see. And also the reverb, we can add little chunks. I don't know. I love sends. There's people that don't like sends. I love sends for little hits of reverb throughout your track. We can just duplicate that. Have fun. We can add like maybe some isotope vinyl on there. It's kind of cool. All right, let's maybe we can even do some like time warping effects, like shaper box could be cool. Let's do before the OTT, yeah. Actually, you know what would be good? I do want to use shaper box. Let's do some like filtering. Let's add a little bass line. Now, you know, my little bass line hack is just to copy the kick pattern, throw it in your bass, and then modify the bass and then just modify the pattern until it's like a new bass line. It's kind of just a speedy process of getting some bass going. instead of doing that, let's find out what key center this is in. It's probably F or C, actually. It's probably in C. So let's see what happens. This is actually a cool idea. Let's see what happens if we pitch it up. Let's see how it'll react. Because now it'll be an F. Alright, so we made it into A flat. That's kind of cool. So I just threw in basically the kick pattern into my bass patch, but now we can kind of go in and make some cooler hits. I don't know, for some reason it sounds kind of nice just kind of following the kick. But yeah, as you can see, I've kind of created a pretty cool tune so far. You know, here's where the producing starts and the ideas, they just start coming to you. Obviously, it needs a little more, some more energy in the tops, you know, really fill it out, fill that last kind of idea out. Here's another little hack that I like to do. Take the kick and snare pattern, or just the kick pattern or whatever, throw it into like a hat mud pie like I have, and then you can play around with, so you loop it and then you play around with the start time again, and shifting everything over will create some interesting hits later down the road or in the beginning. So that's so yeah, you can either automate the start time in a classic mode or just play around with the pitch and see what lands on all these different hi-hats. And yeah, you can play around with the cell. That's kind of like my production style, is to take a cell and then use all these different modulation or MIDI tools to affect a motif, or if you will, and play around with different, fish around for different ideas. Then once you find something cool, you can just like duplicate it and play around again and try to find some different hits again and fill it out. Also, another thing I like to do, it's kind of my production style, is to create a pattern. Basically, I create a pattern with volume shaping, and then I like to change the underlying material under that volume shaping to find different hits as well. So for example, I could come in a shaper box and make like, you know, a quick little rhythm that I think might be nice. Or, you know, what I could even do is just go to eighth notes and do something like this. So now I have the volume shaping that I desire, but now I can change the underlying material and keep that idea. And I'm a huge advocate of searching for ideas within context instead of trying to make things sound good on their own. Try as best as you can to make all of your ideas in context. So essentially, while everything is playing in the track. And the better you can get at doing that, the faster you will be at producing, and the faster you will be at getting your ideas to lock in with everybody else. So yeah, this bass patch is kind of bright, so I thought, hey, why don't we create some evolving, you know, storyline with the fact that maybe right now I don't like how bright it is, but later down the road it could be nice bright like this. So what I'm thinking is we'll make kind of like a build up with said brightness. So let's see what we got here. We could just automate. We could macro this, sure, but we can also just add the cutoff with configure, you know, this button. And now we can kind of start low and get to where we were. And some little reverb hits on the bass would be nice too with the send. Easy peasy, little reverb hits here and there. Boom, boom, boom. You know. And now to create some tension, we can drop the drums out. I like to mute things rather than delete them. I don't know why. Call me a clip hoarder, I guess. So yeah, I'm creating a platform to create more energy, and that will give me ideas instead of trying to make a really cool drop right away. We'll try to find like a vocal. Let's do some like vocals or something. papa tambale. Don't go lonely. Everybody looking papa tambale. Don't go lonely. Don't go, don't go, don't Yeah, so this is where I try to use a break. End up chasing my tail for a little bit, and I don't really hone it in towards the end. I finally figure out how to really make it sit right. But that won't happen for a while, so sit tight. But yeah, this is where I start putting some more mud pies. But yeah, so I'm gonna fast forward here. All you need to know is, I'm just playing around with the start time and different mud pies, trying to find hits. I'm also going back and forth with editing the vocals, the kick pattern, the breaks, and the mud pie hits. Okay, so here's where I finally tackle the breaks again. I finally realized I just needed to high pass it in a really acute band, and ended up sitting a lot better. And yep, sorry about the OBS getting in the way here, but basically you just do a little bit more volume shaping, just to give it a little more fluff and flutter. I finally arrive at a nice little sitting top, but yeah, it took a lot of trial and error. Yeah, I keep editing. I keep doing micro edits. Pretty straightforward. I don't think I need to let the next probably hour play out of editing, but I'm just working on different sections, different micro edits. All right, so we got started with tune, all with the random chords that I let my hands do. So yeah, hopefully you guys can make some cool shit with the random voice leading and random chords that I play, and I'd love to hear what you do. And without further ado, I'll just play the song out. I don't know how long I just spent. Looks like about an hour on this, but hey, I think it's sounding pretty cool. Hours worth of producing. And here we go. Everybody looking up at the moon. Everybody looking up at the moon. But yeah, so that's the little garage teen anime. Let's save it as like I don't know. Yeah, let's call this as let's put the BPM. Let's put it after though. I kind of like naming it some random shit. I think it sounded like I was saying don't go away or something like that. Don't go away 130 garage ting one stuff. Oh, garage ting Rando chords. That I'll definitely know what the hell that is. And we'll save. Not in my sound design folder anymore. And yeah, and you know what's probably cool is, you know, maybe even just like playing with the start here, because now the start time has its own automation. But if I do like, you can find way cooler hits. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a pretty cool thing to give you guys and play around with. I'm really excited, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys. Have a happy producing. Happy producing. Okay, bye.